But it's a nightmare on Franklin Street. Tampa Theatre is getting into the Halloween spirit with some ghost hunting and frightening flicks.
But first, it's just a jump to the left because Sean Daly is about to get stuck in a time warp.
That's right. Oh, you know what? I was too freaky for the Rocky Horror Picture Show peeps, and they left me. It was too weird. Yeah, a lot going on this October at the Tampa Theatre, the haunted Tampa Theatre. A little later on, Frank and I will show you our findings, our paranormal investigation findings. Woo! But first, on October 29th, this lovely lady right here, Deb Fretham, local storyteller, haunted house, haunted story archivist, will be regaling us with stories here for just $8, family friendly, right? Awesome.
Absolutely.
You know, Tampa and Tampa Bay, how haunted is our area?
You have to remember that Tampa is literally a city built on bones, because when they first started to pave the streets around here, you see, they had taken all the shells and bones from the Tocobaga Native American burial mounds and spread them out in the mud so that the horses and the oxen could walk across them more easily.
Oh, God, you're really creepy. You were kind of holding on to your creep factor, and now you're just letting it go.
Well, of course. But you know, we are actually standing in the most haunted place in the Tampa Bay area. There are at least 4 ghosts here, possibly more. I'm sure you'll find out all about that on your paranormal experience as well.
Tell us about, is it Fink?
Fink Finley. His real name is Foster Finley. Fink was an unfortunate nickname. He worked here from 1930 until 1965.
Wow.
Yes, he had a heart attack in 1965 during a showing of that immortal classic, Santa Claus Conquers the Martians. Actually been voted one of the worst films of all time. We don't think it was the quality of the film that brought on the heart attack, however. But he had an unusual routine. When he would come here in the morning, he would brew a cup of coffee and walk up the long stairway to the projectionist booth with a cup of coffee in one hand, a cigarette in the other. When he got to the booth, he would shave, then slap on some lilac-scented aftershave. Very masculine. After his death, the projectionist that they hired to replace him complained that Foster would just not leave him alone. He'd be walking up that long stairway and he'd smell coffee. He'd turn around, and there'd be no one behind him. He'd walk a few more steps and he'd smell cigarette smoke. He'd turn around, and there'd be no one behind him. He would get in the projectionist booth and he'd just get that little whiff of a lilac-scented aftershave. And then right before the show would start, the door to the booth would creak open. There would be a jangling of keys, and then whip, the door would shut, as if Foster had entered to help with the projectionist's work that evening.
How terrifying was that? You're the scariest woman of all time, Deb Fretham. Awesome. October 29th?
October 29th.
You are awesome at what you do, and we will go up to the projection booth next and try to find Fink Finley.
Oh, please do, and tell him.
Come with us.
Tell him hello from me.
Look at that. Go to abcactionnews.com for more information on Tampa Theatre. That was awesome.
Faye, she is putting out the
I know.
spooky vibe there.
I'm glad she's not here in the studio.
That was great. All right, something else you can enjoy today, too. Less scary, too. Free concerts in the park. We'll have all those details.
And then there were 3. The